The proactive would be 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening, regardless of how you feel, slowing the breath down, working with maybe an extended exhale breath where we make simply the exhale longer than the inhale. Could be 3 seconds in, 6 seconds out, gradually making that longer and slower. Typically, we want to focus on breathing through the nose, particularly on the inhale. So it could be in through the nose, out of the nose, in through the nose, out of the mouth. Popular exercises that seem to be getting more and more awareness, like box breathing, which is inhale, hold, exhale, hold, usually starting with a 4-second count per part. And that proactive element is about, if you're operating from that high level of stress, naturally bringing your nervous system back down overall from maybe a 7 out of 10 to a 5 out of 10, where you're a little bit more balanced and a little bit less reactive. So that would be a foundational piece to say, okay, if you're, I work unsurprisingly with a lot of people who struggle with chronic stress, anxiety, burnout. That's always where we start. It's like, okay, daily practice, consistent practice, which we can come on to as to why people struggle with that. And then the reactive part would be in the moment. Okay, I'm about to go out on stage and speak. I'm about to go into a meeting. I'm having an uncomfortable conversation with a friend or a partner or whatever it might be. And your heart rate naturally starts to spike. Your nervous system naturally starts to elevate. Similar techniques in the moment. We want to actually interrupt that stress response and bring us back down again. And I think there's a lot of well-intentioned advice on social media in general, but particularly around breathwork, where they say, if you're having a panic attack, just breathe in for 10 seconds and out for 10 seconds. And as someone who's had plenty of panic attacks in my life, that's well-intentioned but very unhelpful, because you can't breathe for that tempo when you're in high stress and high panic. And so something, if anyone does experience panic attacks that's listening, something like ratio breathing, where it's just a balanced inhale to exhale ratio, but you start with 2 seconds in, 2 seconds out, 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out, and you gradually slow the breath down. And that, I guess those two sides to me really illustrate the power of breath work, because a conversation that often comes up and a question I'm often asked is, breath work or meditation, what's better? What should I be doing? I think they're pretty distinct. I actually think there's a big chunk in the middle of crossover, but I actually think there's quite distinct reasons why I would suggest one or the other. For me, breathwork is very much a direct intervention into your stress response, in this case, with what we're talking about, and a direct intervention into your nervous system to create change, rather than meditation that is a little bit more exploratory, a little bit more passive as a practice, and for me serves a different purpose. But typically we just want to focus on, everyone could do with breathing slower, breathing more deeply, breathing more fully, and breathing through the nose more.